Everyone, welcome back to Legacy of Kain Defiance. This is your host, Leading Man.
And I'm Akari Warrior. Managed to get myself out of bed even though I was so sick. Just to do recording with you, Leading Man.
Oh, how you suffer for our entertainments.
Dance, puppet, dance.
In my absence, the estate had been overrun by Mobius's soldiers. I hoped that they had not yet found the entrance to the crypt or discovered the body of Janos. Of Vorador, there was no sign.
Raziel, the conquering hero. I understand we ought to offer congratulations. Kain, at last, is dead.
I suppose you expect similar congratulations on the death of Vorador. Or has he eluded you?
We have him, but not without a considerable price in blood.
That will have pleased him.
Let it sustain him until his head is off, and every vampire in Nosgoth at last is dead.
And will that knowledge sustain you? You too are going to your death.
For a true servant of the one God, death is never bitter. I will go, again at peace with the knowledge that I have played my small part in our master's plans. Kain is at last destroyed, and you have carried out the deed. Which hero do you think you are now? The vampire savior, or the other one? Have you realized yet that it didn't matter to us which one either of you thought you were, so long as the result was the same in the end? And now, Kain is dead. Really, I cannot thank you enough.
So, this has all been arranged every step of the way. And Kain thought I truly had free will.
Oh, but you do. And there's the greatest triumph of all. To have compelled the one player who could choose into doing exactly what we required. Well done, faithful servant. And now, I have an execution to see to.
Oh, Mobius, still a dick. Anyway, we're not gonna deal with these guys. We're just gonna blow the wall apart and run away. Sweet.
Sweet.
But yeah, I just love this turn of events. Honestly, I think it's one of the greatest parts of this game, is the fact that all the stuff we've seen in Soul Reaver 2 with the vampire hero, all the stuff that they put into this one with the two portraits, complete lie. Didn't matter. Everything that's given to the two characters is just there to persuade them to kill each other, which is pretty awesome in my opinion.
And more to the point, to persuade Raziel to kill Kain.
Yeah, essentially it's all there because they knew Raziel would believe everything he sees because he's a gullible fucking retard. Whereas Kain doesn't, and he even knew that he's like, the whole time he even comments, who cares about these paintings? Stones too can lie. All the stuff he says. Where he's like, he realizes that this doesn't necessarily matter. There are bigger things at play here. Whereas Raziel has one hell of a trip with destiny.
And he's all, and it kind of seems to be an ego trip.
Kind of, yes. Which is funny you mention that, considering that actually gets mentioned a little bit later in the plot too. But yeah, it essentially is an ego trip, and we'll see why later. But you may have noticed that I actually used some sweet TK to throw one of these guys on a spike. We can actually do that. Hell yes.
Fantastic.
It's about time. Which is good, considering we just threw Kain into some terrible abyss from hell. So, it's good that someone has this ability, because, I mean, what else were we going to do?
Right.
But of course, we also have these Hilden who are, TK resistant, which Kain never even had to deal with in the first place. Now this is the charged up attack for the Earth Reaver. The Earth Reaver basically just does a crap ton more damage when charged.
And also makes your enemies look like Pigpen.
Kind of, yes. Thankfully here there are, again, a lot of enemies that can be skipped. Now doing this is going to hurt your EXP if you're trying to gain new moves, and Because of this, I don't think I gained the final 2 moves for Raziel. But guess what? I don't care. You shouldn't care either.
I care.
Well, stop it.
But why?
Because I don't want to spend an extra hour in this place, do you?
Good point.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's move on.
So, we leave.
Yeah, let me just die a little bit further away from you.
Thankfully, we can just blow this apart too here.
Yeah, that's not obvious.
The funny thing is, I actually tried to... The first time I did this, I tried to go into the spectral realm and jump across all the pillars again, because that's what you normally do there. But, yeah, that didn't work, so...
Yeah, bummer.
It was more obvious than I expected. And now we have the Earth Reaver, so we can actually go through this.
Wait outside, guys.
It's good considering the fact that I had no... Like, it's hard to know what the hell those doors are even for. You may notice back here, there's suddenly one of these. We'll take that. Kind of tricky putting it in a place you've already been.
It's also an interesting sort of, the lighting for this area is a very interesting choice considering that this kind of seems like it should be a sort of a dark, sort of, like a dark atmosphere. But it's all very well lit.
Well, it's sort of mixed. I mean, you can see light sources, but it is very dark in a lot of places. In the back there, that we already killed, that's a mutated vampire hunter. Essentially the same thing as where the vampire hunters were taken over by Hilden previously. We can see it happening. Occasionally the Hilden will suddenly take control of a vampire hunter and just go after Raziel.
Kind of doing what Raziel does to corpses, except with a living person.
Exactly. It's even more control than before, and they become stronger. And I don't know, they're just bigger. They're not necessarily any faster, and I think they're also unliftable, if I remember correctly. To be honest, it's kind of an unnecessary touch, considering the fact that these guys are more annoying than the Hilden anyways. The stupid fire guys, holy crap. I'd rather have them turn into a Hilden.
Yeah, definitely. At least they don't turn into the fire demons.
Yeah, no kidding. This section's kind of funny because it almost hits all of the major areas of Vorador's mansion, but it does so in a very linear fashion. And it's pretty effing straight to the point, which is funny because that's the exact opposite of how Vorador's mansion was last time. I guess that's good. If you're going to recap a place, you might as well do it in an effective manner.
Yeah, at least they're quick about it, rather than simply recycling the environment.
Yeah, it actually shows like this place could be done with like intelligent and well thought out level design.
Yeah. Gee, what was that earlier?
I don't know. Player hatred,
It was sick in bed.
gameplay lengthening, just like our statue scenes.
Right.
Oh, guy on fire, you make me happy.